Hey, there, now I can hear me. You can hear me, and I can hear me. Welcome. We're back. It's Saturday, and we're gonna keep the music going because we can. Yeah. So, hi, I've been away for a few weeks. What can I say? Life happens. But we're back. We're back today. We're gonna do more building in TaleSpire. We're gonna finish up. We're gonna try and finish up Caves of Chaos. I want to say we can finish it today. I don't think that's an unrealistic goal. Maybe. We'll see. Let me see if I got my browser. Ooh, that is not correct. Hold on. No, that's not right. There we go. Need to see the map. There we go. And then we can resize it because it's too big. All right, I don't want to block too much of the screen because I know everybody loves looking at this thing. Hold on a second. Let me adjust. Actually, that's slightly playing. There we go. Playing, building, whatever. It's TaleSpire. It is not in itself a game, but it facilitates games. So I guess technically it's a game. If it's on Steam, it's a game. They just did an update with actual mods, actual modding. You don't have to go to a second or third party. I guess it's just third party. You don't have to go to third party for your modding anymore. You can do all your modding in TaleSpire. It's sweet. I haven't tried it. I have to look into it more. I just saw the thing today as I opened TaleSpire, and Steam was like, you have to update it. So I updated it, saw that. So that's cool. Oops, let me move. Whoa, don't want to do that. There we go. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around in my OBS. Okay. All right. I really wish the invisible layers in OBS were not selectable, but whatever. So the good news is we're pretty much on the second half of this map, placing trees, except for over there. We really do need to go over there and do that first. Let's see, that's over here. So maybe we'll do that today. I know we said there's not that much either. There's just a few above, where is that cave? This cave, right here. Right here. There's a few on the second tier above that cave, as you can see in the map here. I do like having the map available, just so everyone can kind of see what we're doing, so I can kind of see what I have, of course, the map, but it's good to have it up on the screen too, so viewers can see what I'm doing, or get what I'm doing. Oh, also, new pop screen for my mic. I got the dead cat little thing. I don't have that big circular thing in the way anymore, which is so great. And I actually have the mic at a great angle on another desk, not on this desk. So if I bump this desk, the mic doesn't shake or shimmy. But if I bump the mic, it's still. But I still have the this thing, the shock mount. So yeah, how has everyone been? I know I'm meandering toward before building, but whatever. It's been a while. I'm getting reacquainted with everybody. As in, well, there's no one watching right now, but this is also going up on YouTube, so they might appreciate it. Anyway, we're in build mode. I need to get my grid going. There we go. Yeah, grid time. All right, so we got a couple small trees there. Then we're gonna have just little copse of trees that actually extends up onto the tier above, the third tier. That's cool. I like that. Oof, lots of stuff happening past 2 weeks that we kind of missed talking about. Well, as far as updates and all of the programs that I use here, I guess. Some new music. This week, I actually did a deep dive this morning to find some more on Free Music Archive to find some more free vaporwave, which I added. Shout out to Kirk Kirk Osamayo, and Mystery Mammal. I found a couple more to add to my Anonymous 420 collection. These are also free to use, license, but I just have to, give them credit, which I am with this little player right here. It says the name of the artist and the name of the song, and yeah, all I got to do is add in that they're CC BY license and they're from Free Music Archive. I've got that on my splash page, so we're all good. We're good to go. All right. Whoa. We actually went. Whoa. The wife and I actually went. Every time I say that phrase, I have to do it in that voice. The wife and I went to get some of our recycling turned in this morning because the city was having a collection. So we were just stuff that we needed to shred and stuff that we needed to couldn't recycle normally, like medicine, like old prescriptions and stuff like that. That was the other one. So yeah, that was. I'm not sure that's recycling so much as just turning it in and just to the proper disposal facility, proper disposal. People who can dispose of it properly. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't really know what's happened in the past 2 weeks. Small vacation over the 4th. Went in the middle of nowhere to hang out with some family, which was nice. That's why I wasn't here last week. The week before, I was ill, mildly ill, but not really in a headspace for streaming. But I'm fine. I am A-okay. Been running D&D here and there. My paid game's going pretty well. Got some major plot points unfolding. Got to touch on one Wednesday night. After getting back, they're right in the middle of trying to kill an ancient white dragon, which is always great. So they're just hacking and slashing their way through its lair, which is in a glacier, in the Arctic. So he has the home field advantage, this dragon. But yeah, it's I had some plot points that I wanted to touch on and sort of there we go. Shift middle click is the copy. Perfect. But yeah, I had some plot points regarding some NPCs that they encountered previously, and some backstory for PCs. I got to work that in too, which was nice. That's always great when you get to touch on a PC's backstory. Just embed them in the world, make them feel grounded in your world. It's great. So yeah, as I mentioned, new updates in TaleSpire, which is pretty cool. I do like the whole. I don't think it's proprietary modding because I think you can still do third-party mods, but it's like it's in I don't even know the proper phrase for it. In-game, in-program modding now. Much in the same way there was the Skyrim script extender, which was, Bethesda had that. So it was like, yeah, sure, we understand you want to add stuff to this game. Go for it. Here's this. And that's kind of a similar thing, it seems like, with what is he calling it? Oh, man, I just forgot the name. Wait, I can find it. It is symbiotes. Like symbiotes or symbiotes, however you want to pronounce it. And there's a guide on how to do it on Steam. I didn't get too far into that. I watched the video. just like the release video, and he went through and did it real quick, which is fine. He didn't really go into, you know, building the mod or anything like that. It was just how to upload it, add it to the thing. So again, if you're good at modding and understand all that, then this is great. I am not great at coding or modding or anything like that, so I mean, I never tried, but so I won't say I'm not good at it. It's just I don't know how to do it yet. There, that's a little nicer. These trees are... Oh, we were on the 3rd level already. Oh, okay, so these don't go out that far. 3rd level. They actually come to about like so. On this 3rd level. How far out? It goes pretty far out, left and right over here. Also over here. Kind of expand a little bit. Okay. That, I think, is good for the 3rd tier. 2nd tier, we need to come out... Actually, should move this so that it... And there's a small little alcove kind of situation, so we'll go ahead and do that like so, and then kind of make a rough outline of these tree trunks. There we go. Then fill it in with all that. We're good there. All right, and keeping with our process from previous, or we touched on it, that we're gonna do the topography first before going in and doing the canopy. Topography before canopy, because it just makes it so much easier to do. So I was trying to do this after I put all the tops of the trees on. It would be way more annoying. Well, not way more annoying. Mildly more annoying, because I'd have to basically adjust my cutoff thing. I don't want to do that. But yeah, this is just skip a step, kind of, by doing things in a certain order. I didn't put. Yeah, here we go. Beta community mod. Oh wow, I can just. Oh wow, you can just. Sweet! You can just take stuff, roll 20. What? What? Why would you want to... What? Roll 20 stopped working the other day. Roll 20. Or no, I'm sorry. Roll 20 didn't stop working. Beyond 20 stopped working the other day. So, I don't know what the deal was with that. Oh, they have handout notes. D&D Beyond, game log observer. Oh, you can load your game log in here. That's cool. Warhammer 40k dice roller, language chat example, dice roller example, generic character sheet. That's pretty cool. Slab stats. Whoa. Selection info. API documentation. 5e tools viewer. Huh, so I can link my Roll20 account to TaleSpire now. That's kind of neat. I don't know what exactly that would do, because any information I use in Roll20 is just straight from D&D Beyond through Beyond 20. Alright, anyway. That is cool. That is very cool. We want this and sample water. Sample water? Hey, I just work here. Do you know if TaleSpire has hex-based grid options? That is a great question. I don't know. Let me see here. Grid. I will say this. There is no grid for play. So there's just the measuring tool, as far as I know. So you can like measure in feet, and you can set the measurement increment to whatever. So yeah, they just have like a tool like this where you can measure how far you go. So it's kind of agnostic as far as, you know, grid. I'm not sure how integral the grid is to your gaming system. I know some systems rely heavily on it, like it has to be a hex. But this has sort of an agnostic like measuring, so it's just like a measure tool instead of a grid. The grid itself is more of just the overlay for building. They don't really have a playing grid that you can apply. I mean, I could be wrong with that. No, they don't have a play grid. They don't have a play grid. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. Let's see. Where is that water? Sample water. Here? Temp water. There it is. Oh, I was thinking sample water. Boop, boop, boop. There. Now there's water. Shrink my menu here. And we got a build node so I can see how that looks. Make sure that I set it the right height. Looks good. Yeah, cool. And this is more of a puddle than anything else, so I don't really have to do. I mean, I'm going to add some foliage, but let's see. Some ferns. Turn on clipping. You can create custom assets for TaleSpire, right? And then just plop them down wherever you want. With the new mod thing, absolutely. you can use any like a 3D rendering thing, and I'm assuming that you can upload that into the basically, I guess, format that to work with Symbiote, their new mod thing, and then just upload it, and you can just do your own thing. As far as like character minis and stuff like that, you can do that through Hero Forge. You can link your Hero Forge account with TaleSpire, and anything you make in Hero Forge, you can, I think it's $9 or $5 or something like that. I think it's $9 to get the STL exported to TaleSpire, and then you have your own, which I've done for many of my minis. They added, let's see, where is it? Hero Forge in its own thing. So yeah, I've got a bunch. And even when you link your account, they just give you 5 minis. So there's like a handful of minis in here that I didn't make, that TaleSpire and Hero Forge were like, here, thanks for linking your account, which is always cool. And they also have like packets where you can buy, which I bought a bunch of hobgoblins, which came in like a pack of, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. A pack of 5 hobgoblins, which was $5. So it was $1 a mini, which was fine. I was like, sweet. But yeah, I've made a bunch in Hero Forge that I just kind of, for whatever reason, either for actual 3D printing through them, or if I just wanted a like a 2D top down for Roll20, just make a token in Hero Forge. Most of them, like, I just kind of imported because I was like, yeah, I might need it. I might need it in TaleSpire. Why not? But yeah, that's as much as I know about any kind of custom stuff in TaleSpire. Hopefully I'm gonna look into the Symbiote thing a little bit more to see if I can figure out more about it, because I literally just heard about it right before streaming, right before I started. But I'm assuming that's gonna have some customization options where you can just create your own mod and pop it right in. I'm like very inexperienced in creating assets and building anything, but I'm savvy and have some interest in trying to figure out. Yeah, same. I don't know how to make mods, so it's all new to me. Oops, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, I'd be interested in trying to figure it out for sure. There. Down a little bit. All right. up with the foliage. We'll do some little lily pads. Why not? Here and there. Cool. Yeah. Down some more ferns. Let's pepper the air. Ooh. There we go. Double ferns and then go through and do the single fern. I'm trying to make this look somewhat like, not really overgrown, because it's kind of desolate here too. I kind of want to get that across. Oh, there we go. But I don't want to choke the board with this stuff, because then people, players won't be able to move their minis through it efficiently. Which I guess lends itself to the narrative, like, oh, it's overgrown, it's difficult terrain. Yes, you're going to have difficulty moving your mini through it. It's difficult terrain. Long story short, I'm trying to figure out how to play Heroescape Online or Arena of the Planeswalkers. If you're familiar, it's much harder to find a platform that's 3D that doesn't come with a lot of baggage. Oh yeah, this one, I would say this platform for me was really easy to get into and start building stuff, even more so than Roll20. Roll20 is not 3D, but this is, I'm just using it as an example of just a gaming platform for RPGs. Roll20 has a lot of where you have to upload you have to fill out the character sheet for everything, or import the character sheet for something, and information and stuff that's sort of like not really coding, but you're making it, you're translating it into something that Roll20 understands, right? So you got to take all the information from your D&D character sheet, put it into Roll20, associate that with a token, and all that. I don't do that because I use Beyond 20, which just takes your D&D Beyond account, Roll20, and just connects them. So anything you roll on D&D Beyond, even for monster character sheets, shows up in Roll20, which is awesome, a huge time saver. And this, being set agnostic, all you really have to know is how to build. And building is, if you're familiar with like Adobe programs, even just mildly, so, you have mild knowledge of Adobe, there's a lot of TaleSpire is linked to your Roll20 accounts and such. You can now. You can with the symbiote thing they just added. There is I just see it right here. There's a Roll20 thing that you can link. So that's huge. And they have an exploding dice thing. So if you're playing a game with the exploding dice mechanic, that's really awesome. So yeah, it's they keep adding to it. Roll20, TaleSpire is still kind of in progress. It's come a long way from the first iterations of it. And a lot of the maps I built were in those early iterations. So a lot of the stuff was locked to the grid, a lot of the assets, so you couldn't put them wherever. They had to be in a cell, like in one of the cells. And you could rotate it, but it was just straight up, 180 or no, 90 degree turns. 90 degree. You could turn it 90 degrees all the way around. In 90 degree increments. That's what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, it's come a long way, and VR compatibility with really, yeah. That'd be fun. But yeah, it's a great program. It's easy to learn. It was easy to learn how to build in here for me personally. But yeah, if you're savvy and you can, you know, get into programs and kind of figure them out, this one's really easy. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun building stuff. Let's see. Do I need to put a few more trees down there? No, just the one. Just the one should be fine. All right. So we have our tree trunks. We have more or less the foliage down there. Let's throw in a few rotting logs just to kind of add a little bit more. Cool. We can sink them down. Whoops. Yeah, sink this down into the dirt a little bit. There we go. And yeah, even like something just that like I just couldn't do in early iterations. It had to be at a certain level. You know, it was much more locked to in-game measurements. And now we can just do it arbitrary, just however, wherever you want to put it, up or down, rotate it however you want. The thing that I want them to do is get it so you can rotate it like, you know, up, you know, flip it upside down. That would be great. That would be really cool. But as it stands right now, they just have a few assets that are already flipped, like furniture. Like it's like, oh, this room is wrecked. There's a table in it, but it's, you know, the whole room's been tossed. How do I do that? And for a while you couldn't, but now we have a couple, you know, upside down tables or sideways tables or upside down chairs, stuff like that. So it's better to, easier to kind of show that. And that's a very, a very specific kind of thing, but it is nice to have. Turn this like share. There we go. How easy to stream? Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Because I just have, you know, I just have it set to capture the game window, and everything else is, you know, ancillary to that. Like the music and my little browser window over there with the map. And, yeah. It's a very chill thing to stream. I'll say that for sure. Which is why I like streaming it so much. Alright, so I think we'll do this like we've done the others. Toward the middle, the canopy is going to be higher. So let's throw some of these down. 2 for that one. Say 2 for this one. 2 for this one. And then all the other ones nearby. I should be building the thing I want and worry less about if it works. Absolutely. Just start. You know? I mean, there's so many, there are a couple maps in here that I've done and just kind of started as just like a mild idea. I'm like, I don't really know the program so well. And you just start going. And then as you go, you're like, oh, you know, new skills emerge, and then you can always go back and change things if you don't like the way you did them previously, you know, and stuff like that. It's all a creative process. It's great, and this really lends itself to that really easily. you can just kind of like, you don't have to worry, because anything you do in here, it's not written in stone. You can always go in and be like, all right, well, this looks better over here, and you just do it. Super simple. Guess let's try this. And we'll put a couple over here. Hopefully this is, because I'm turning away from the mic when I there, what if I do this? There we go. That's a little better. A little bit. There we go. Cool. It's all up in my grill, but you know what? At least people can hear me. I was going through and editing the Tears of the Kingdom mini streams I did, and like when I would talk really low like this, I'm like, oh, I can't really hear myself at all. Should really get up on the mic a little bit. All right, we'll do a couple more, like so. And there we go. That looks pretty good right there. How much does Hero Forge cost if you're building and trying to acquire minis for online gaming? The subscription to Hero Forge is not cheap. Because before they didn't really require a, well, actually, I'll put it this way. They don't require a subscription if you're just building minis, just to build them. If you want to like make 2D tokens of them or anything else, like anything further than that, actual get 3D printed token, you know, minis or anything like that, or STLs for this, you do need a subscription. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I do remember it wasn't cheap, but it's like a yearly thing. I could look into it, but I think it was around $70 a year, something like that, which again isn't cheap. But you get all of the 2D tokens you want. You can make as many minis as you want, and just make 2D tokens. So if you're planning on making a lot of 2D tokens for like Roll20, it's good because you can just do custom. Like Roll20 has a vast library of tokens, so this is by no means necessary. But if you really cannot find what you're looking for, and it's not a monster, because right now Hero Forge doesn't really do monster minis, it just does kind of NPC hero minis. That's the way it is. Looking for 3D tokens specifically. Okay, so yeah, it's Hero Forge is it's the subscription plus it's like $9 per mini that you get the STL for. And I think, and don't quote me on this, I think the subscription gives you so many free STLs per year. Don't quote me on that. I think they used to do that for certain subscription levels, but I'm not sure if they still do that. So yeah, that's the only one I have as far as 3D token sources. And TaleSpire itself has a pretty good library of tokens that just come with it, and they're coming out with new ones all the time. So if specificity isn't, paramount to your 3D tokens, you can just use the tokens that are in TaleSpire because it comes with a bunch. And that's only $25. You get TaleSpire and all of its tokens and all of its materials. It's a good deal. So Hero Forge is just kind of like a supplement to that. If you're doing custom stuff, if you want custom stuff. But yeah, so in that sense, just getting a couple minis through Hero Forge now and then for like NPCs or PCs, that's one thing. But if you're using it to make everything, like even your monsters, then it's gonna be really expensive. But yeah, the tokens that are in TaleSpire are great. And you can usually find what you're looking for, or at least something adjacent. Hearing generic tokens are available through TaleSpire for the cheap, and anything specific would be pricey by the mini. Tons of work. I wouldn't say that they're tons of work. Well, they can be, because once you do the deep dive in Hero Forge and start building things, if you're going in and making, your custom minis for every single thing, that's going to be time consuming and expensive. If you're just using the minis that are in TaleSpire, that's no time. That takes you no time and no money aside from purchasing TaleSpire. Which is, yeah. So Hero Forge, like Eldritch Foundry and Hero Forge, those would be like supplemental things. I don't think Eldritch Foundry has a link to TaleSpire. I know they used to do the minis for TaleSpire. That I do know. Eldritch Foundry used to do all the, the tokens that were in the program. But now it's like linked with Hero Forge, so I don't know what happened. I'm sure there's a story there, but I don't know. I'm not privy to it. All right. I think Yeah, yeah. If you just do the tokens in TaleSpire, it's cheap and effective. You don't really have to worry about custom. Like if you really need a custom mini though, Hero Forge. or now you could potentially, if you are versed in 3D modeling programs, just do it in a 3D modeling program and import it through the symbiote thing, which is, for me, would be two things I would have to figure out. I would have to figure out how to 3D model and then figure out how to use the symbiote uploader. And I'm sure there will be proprietary, or not proprietary, but fan-made symbiotes in the community on Steam, where there would probably be like mini packs that you could just add, much in the same way as Skyrim. Do you know if I can still pull STL files into TaleSpire from third party? I just answered that. Kind of. I don't know for sure, but I think there was a whole mod process that I kind of looked into before for TaleSpire. Yeah, reading minds. Before for TaleSpire, it was third party and it felt kind of janky, so I didn't really dive into it much. I think I tried to do a couple things and they didn't work, and I was like, I don't want to break my TaleSpire. So it's just kind of like, So yeah, this new symbiote thing might be the route to go, but I don't know. As I said, I just learned about it too. But I'm finishing this up. I'm trying to finish this in a timely manner because I'm actually going to be running a game in this on this map. And we're going old school. We're doing AD&D. Hell yeah. Did a little bit of homework on that today. I found some character sheets. I found PDFs of all the old source books, or the source books that I need. I have the actual old source books, but I don't want to have to come in here every time and grab, so they're just on my phone now. I just have the PDF, so I'm like, I can just look it up real quick on my phone. So I did that, and I just have to review the rules because I never ran advanced AD&D first edition, quote unquote first edition. I started at second edition, and I haven't run that in a while. So I have run it relatively recently, but still, that was a little while ago. So I'm not 100% on the rules for second edition, and I am nowhere near 100% of the rules on AD&D, as I have never played it or run it. I've heard that AD&D was much more war-gamey and character death heavy than current editions. Yes. The rules on healing wounds is you get back 1 hit point per day of rest. Yeah. That's how you heal wounds naturally. Long rest? No. Long rest, that is the actual long rest, which is like, I'm down 7 hit points. Well, it looks like we're going to rest for a week, so you can get back up to full. And that's just natural healing. I mean, I'm sure there are potions. Actually, I don't even know if there are potions of healing this early edition. There might be. I don't know. They might be super rare. I don't know. Yeah, so like IRL. It's like, dang. I tore my rotator cuff. Well, looks like I'm out for a month. Fantasy. Scoot these down a little bit. And you know what? I'm gonna take these out of my quick bar because I don't really. Actually, I'm gonna save that one, and I'm gonna add the water. Perfect. Things of the water. Boom. Done. Cool. I don't have to search for it every time. There we go. God bless the quick bar. All right. foliage up here before I start putting on the entire canopy up. Oops, a little too far down. There we go. Yeah, once you know the keys, it's just Control, Shift, and Alt, and right and left and middle click and the wheel. Those are your controls, and Control Z is always undo. It's very, very easy. So hold down Control and move the mouse is up and down, and then hold down Alt and move the mouse is rotate, and Shift and click is of various things. You can shift click to copy, you can shift click to delete, you can shift, it's a bunch of different things. But yeah, as I said, it's a really easy program to learn, and it's just tons of fun. So much fun. Let's see. Blessed Control C, the true Lord and Savior of all creation devices. Yep, absolutely. Oh, oops, a little bit. I want to put any of the prickly shrubs in. A couple. We'll put a couple. We'll put here. There. Lily pads. We'll do one big lily pad. Is that underwater? It is underwater. There we go. And one little one with a lotus on it. Alright, cool. I think that's good for shrubbery up there, or underbrush. Make sure these are not floating. I think we're okay there. Alright. Put down some canopy. The great thing about the is this the dragon build? I forget what version we're in of TaleSpire, but with this version, just the arbitrary height for things is great, because now you can overlap things, so there's no gap. There's no potentiality for a gap. Which is great. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. There. And clipping wasn't always a thing in TaleSpire. So if you had something that was, intersecting with something else, then they couldn't exist in the same space. But now with clipping, you can just overlap them. But yeah, the way I kind of got into TaleSpire and started building it is I had this old 2nd edition adventure called Destiny of Kings, and this is still the same board, right? Yeah, Destiny of Kings. I think so. But yes, it is, because it's all the little things. So, oops, I keep hitting my mic. So I just went in and started making maps for that, just because I'd run it a couple times and I was familiar with the maps, and I wanted to see them, and I just wanted to see them realized in 3D. So I did a couple, and I was like, you know what? I could run this. I could just make all the maps and run the game in it. That's what I did. I just ran it for actually on Twitch for a little bit. I think it was on Z's channel though, Z Bashu's channel, because I ran it for him and some of her friends. That was a blast. Happy little trees. Whoop. Gonna put a happy little tree right there. Alright. That looks pretty good. It's just the top part of that. And we can have a couple more trunks to top. But yeah, I have been playing more Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, everyone's playing freaking Tears of the Kingdom. Most people are playing Tears of the Kingdom. Oh god, the game is so good. It's probably been said 1,000 times at this point. Damn, that game is good. I did not think that they could improve Breath of the Wild, but they went and did it. They went and did it, man. Getting back to the point where you kind of know enough to get a foothold in that game. I didn't expect it to take as long as it did in Breath of the Wild, because I'm like, oh, it's just Breath of the Wild. I know where everything is. I know the rundown. I know how to play this game. You don't know how to play this game. The way they did that is so elegant, and it's just such a great. It's a great sequel, the way they did that, because normally with like a game that's like just a true sequel, like in the same engine, everything's sort of like, oh, okay, well, I know that I have this ability and it does this, and I can use it to do this, this, and this, and I can abuse it this way. That's the big thing. What can I exploit to advance my thing in my power in the game? That's the big one. That's where you find your mastery of a game is exploiting things in the game. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's like, oh, well, this does this much damage, and I can get it here, but if I do this, this, and this, I can have it forever. As a a general example, not for Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, just a game general game example. Or min-maxing in D&D. There, that's even better. That's an even better one. Once you know, like, the perfect build of the perfect class in D&D, there you go. Like, every character you make is that. Don't do that. That's boring. Don't do that. Your DM will hate you. Well, not hate you, but your DM will think less of you. Ooh, that's worse. Since mechanics are part of storytelling, having the same engine kind of weighs on novelty a little. It does. But there are new mechanics. There are new mechanics that you have to figure out. And once you figure those out, the game is tight. The game's tight. Because there's the building things, which is half of the game. Probably more. Probably more than half the game. If you hate building things, don't play Tears of the Kingdom. Or if you don't like the way they have you build things, which you would have to play to find that out. But here's the great thing. You don't have to build things in many situations. There are many situations where they give you the option to do it old school. Not with any of the, abilities that you had in the old one, but just, straight up Link, grind. Like, you could build this thing to ascend up the cliff face quickly, or you could just climb it, or use the ascend ability, or, stuff like that. So there are different routes. It's weird. It's kind of like an RPG in a way, but there's not one answer. I said this before on the Tears of the Kingdom stream. There's absolutely space in D&D if you communicate to run broken characters and broken encounters against each other. Yeah. At a certain level in 5th edition D&D, the characters just become broken, in a sense. They've collected so much. Unless you're running a game where magic items are super rare and they hardly ever get them, then CR is truer. I've noticed this in running D&D. If you don't give them a lot of magic items and stuff, CR is as red, more or less. If you start handing out magic items, conservatively, they'll start to creep. The creep begins. And I run into the issue where it's like, oh, I just thought of a really cool magic item. I want to give it to It's like, oops. But it just makes things more interesting. You kind of have to roll with it. I found my own workthroughs for it, which worked pretty well in my experience. But yeah, there are options, and they teach you all the options and don't let you fly around the problem if they want you to solve it a certain way. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Especially and if we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, if we're talking about the shrines are, I don't know, because here's the thing, I played Tears of the Kingdom, and then over this family break, I watched my nephew play Tears of the Kingdom, because I let him use my Switch and just play it from the beginning. And the shrines that I did and the solutions that I came up with were not the solutions that he came up with, but they still worked in many cases. It was just like, oh, I never thought of that. That works. That's what I love about it. That's what I love about that game. And even watching someone else, like I watched Game Grumps. They're starting to play it. And I watched Aaron. It's just, most of the time, it's just kind of like, what are you doing, dude? But now and then, he'll do something, and I'm like, that's genius. I would have never thought of that. Oh, and the new music. I added some new music, as I mentioned, to the playlist. Who's the new guy? Oh yeah, Kirk Asamayo and Mystery Mammal. They are the new additions. We got a couple from Kirk and one Mystery Mammal. But yeah, they're all in Free Music Archive for free. And these ones, there's way more than just this. I had to do it, the ones that are free to use, and as long as you say that say the license, CCBY, by the way, and where you got them, which I did, and name and song, music, name and the name of the song, artist name, song name, album name, even. I think I have that on, if they have albums. Most of the time they're just kind of like loose songs, just knocking around. Single props here. See. Maybe this is anonymous. Anonymous 420 again. Oh, cool. Just making sure it's on shuffle. Probably be taking. Yeah, we'll take a break in about 5 minutes. We'll take our first little ad break. / get some water break / go to the bathroom break. Oh, welcome, by the way. I just work here. I know that's... As far as I know, this is your first time on the channel, but welcome. I forgot to do that right off the bat. Sorry. then, yeah, holding control and moving the mouse also moves the grid as you move your asset. So that's a really nice feature that lets you place things all on the same level if you want, or easily adjust that level. Please don't be concerned, I think I followed you from another. Oh, influencer. I like to follow chains of recommended channels from one creator to another and learn. Oh, nice. I don't spend nearly as much time on Twitch as I should for being a streamer on here. Like, I stream my thing and then I kind of just disappear until I stream again. I used to watch a lot on here. Like, I watch Penny Arcade on here. And my buddy streamed, but I kind of haven't watched them stream in a while. Yeah, and I mean, this was back when I was unemployed. I had a lot more free time. But yeah, though I don't recall which. Yeah, it was probably Z. Yeah, Z actually hooked me up with my first copy of TaleSpire because he had the early release version, and I just toyed around with it for a little bit. I'm like, dude, this is sweet. All I did was like make a little tavern room with the assets that were available at the time. I was like, this is awesome, and it's come so far. Makes sense. I was about to bring him up during a conversation earlier. I don't remember why. Oh, he just did a new video. His new animated spellbook for Ceremony with the character, which I mentioned I ran. What was it? Yeah, Ceremony. I ran Destiny of Kings for him and some other friends, and his character, Fauntleroy Appleby, had a wife, and he had the +2 AC for having the wife. And the funniest thing was encountering an NPC that on the fly we're like, you know what? She's an ex-wife, so she extra hates you. Oh, that was a blast. That campaign was a blast. Very short, but a whole lot of fun. He's probably used that character in other things, so I don't think that campaign was the origin of that by any means. But it did happen in that campaign too. Oh man, oh man. Put another single top here, and we'll put a big one over here. Make sure that it's rocking with the map. Yeah. All right. Doesn't quite look like it does on the map, but you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Let's see here. It's gotta go. When you actually read the strings attached sections of things like Ceremony and like packs, it's very fun to think about what would actually happen if a character was doing such things. Yeah. Oh man. If Fauntleroy Appleby was a paladin. Very strange behavior for a paladin, but I 100% allow it because it's funny. And it was just that kind of game. That, come come out this way a little bit. Probably should put a couple here. Sure. Reminder that gods are messed up and that don't concern themselves with petty humans. Exactly. And he was a paladin, not of a god, but of an ideal. So that's fine. That's completely fine. not even of a paladin devoted to a god, but just an ideal. If I remember correctly. Whoops. Alright, so these are just going to be singles. Sink them down a little bit. Okay. Right. Oh, it is about that time for an ad break. So we're going to put these last few treetops on and kick on over to some ads or ad. I don't know how many ads Twitch plays for you folks, but or what they are. When you take Zealotry to its logical endpoint, you find paladins. Yeah, paladins are trying to convince everyone they're the good ones. Exactly. That's why there are anti-paladins. Paladins of every alignment. Not just strictly anti-paladins either. Paladins of every alignment. Which is a neat thing that 5th edition did. I think that started in 5th. It might have happened in 4th too. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I ran 4th too. That was a time. Anyway, we're going to do our ad break, and when we come back, more TaleSpire. Don't go anywhere, but if you do, go, but then come right back. BRB. Back-ish. Back, yes. We're back. If I turn that back on. Actually, you know what? The easiest way to do that is right here. Let's turn the volume down. Instead of having to go into my, what's it, Xbox game bar thing. There, 25%. Perfect. Cool. Welcome back. We're still building stuff. Let's see. I think we're good here with these trees in this section. I don't know if I want to keep this water here. I don't know. I kind of just did this as a test, but I think... Actually, you know what? Let's leave it. I'm just going to leave it. Put a couple shrubs over here, just so it isn't so sparse everywhere. Everywhere except for the trees. I think that's fine. Maybe one little lone tree, just as an add-on. But thank you. I just work here for the for the assessment of ads. 6 ads. That's a lot of ads. That's a lot of ads. I think I have my thing set to 90 seconds of ads. I think. That sounds about right. Alright. So let me also put a couple of these. Boom. There we go. There. That's not bad. Little puddle. Probably should also put one tree. We'll put one little tree. One little tree. That and that. There. Cool. Now it feels part of the world that we've built here. Alright, so topography. Just to kind of link these areas up and finish up this this section. Because after we do the topography over here, this area over here is done. And we have to do it down in the lower tier as well, but that is fine. Let's send up to down, go down. Then it can go up, down, pull that one up, Okie doke. Nope, this one. Up. And how about that one? That'll work. Cool, cool. One thing I've been doing recently, I've been going back and watching classic, I guess classic anime is the terminology for it. But yeah, I've been finding a lot of it on just a little bit. There we go. I've been going into Internet Archive because apparently you can find any any old anime, like from I would say 90s and late and earlier, even the early 2000s and early, because the one that I really liked that I found on there, it's just free. You can just download it for free, legally. But I found Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Such a good one. It's such a good one. I saw it forever ago, and I was like, this is a sequel? This is like way better animation. Because the first Vampire Hunter D is old school. That's old school anime. I would say that's like just a couple of generations, maybe just one or two generations past Speed Racer or Astro Boy. It's like, oh, of course, I mean, they added color, which is huge. But yeah, that first Vampire Hunter D, that's like all Yoshitaka Amano. I forget what studio animated it. I mean, I don't know. But it was definitely a different studio that did Bloodlust. It's probably the same studio that did Ninja Scroll, and I want to say Demon City Shinjuku, maybe. It's the same kind of character design. It's a very similar character design across those. Maybe Wicked City, too, that same studio. But anyway, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, very good. Excellent movie. Love it. Some big voice names in there, too. The voice of Bender, John DiMaggio, he's in there. The other one, childhood is full of wonder, and no wonder you're now building a map for an RPG. And yep. Oh, Pamela, is it Pamela Adlon, who does the voice of Bobby Hill in King of the Hill? She's in there. She's also on Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, the English version, of course, the English voice version. But yeah, great movie. I also downloaded some that I like. Wicked City I'd never seen as a kid. I'd only ever seen ads for it, so I was like, I'm just going to download it. I've never seen it. I want to see it. That one is violent. That was like the era of like hyper violent anime. So I was like, man, I'm sort of glad I didn't see this when I was younger. It messed me up. But yeah, Ninja Scroll, that's another one that I saw as a kid a lot. And I was like, I had it on VHS. So I was like, man, I probably still have it on VHS somewhere. Box somewhere. I think that looks pretty good for like rough terrain. This one's fine. Don't worry, there's still plenty of violence in anime for sure. For sure. It's toned down a little bit now, at least as far as mainstream anime goes. All right, let me zoom out here and see where we're gonna hit next, because we got a decent amount done here. This is barren. This is barren. This comes out. There's a little tiny copse of trees or two over here, which we've marked with these tree trunks. If you look at games like Cuphead that pay homage to old animation, where gruesome stuff happened all the time. Exactly. So yeah, the really old school stuff, like there's some gruesome stuff and also some problematic stuff for like the really old cartoons. It's just kind of like, oh yeah. This is not new and it's not going anywhere. Yep, for sure. Hopefully the problematic stuff is gone. Because yeah, there's some old, like, even Looney Tunes stuff that they have to put the disclaimer at the beginning. It's like, this was made during a time where this kind of thing was not uncommon, and things have changed, and we realize that. So be forewarned, these cartoons are not okay. They're entertaining to a point, but keep in mind we do not share the views expressed in these cartoons. You know, disclaimers to that effect. All right, so there's a little one there. That's on the second tier. Yeah, we got it right. And there's a couple tree trunks down here. Just a couple. All right, and then there's like stray trees here and there. I think we got that one already. Yeah, we got that one. Oh yeah, over here we're gonna have a couple. And it spills down to the tier below. There we go. And we'll do a couple more. Okay, cool. And then, okay, so that's the third tier. Second tier over this way, right near this. So we're gonna have some trees up here. I'm just going through and putting trunks down, just so I know where I have to build next at this point. And I was ambitious at the start of the stream. I was like, we're gonna finish this stream. We're probably not gonna finish this stream. There are a lot of trees that I still gotta put down. A lot. And all the you know, topography stuff, the adjustment of the levels of the terrain. So yeah, we got a few more, but it's coming along. We got, like, I would say two or three more streams. Just a generous estimate. That was being generous, I think. I think that one's fine. Then we have one here that kind of stretches down to about there, and I'm just gonna outline. Maybe that's the best if I generally outline how this is gonna be. It comes up onto this tier, and then it does something. Okay. Does something to this effect. And then out here. Oh, I'm gonna change my map so you guys can see what I'm doing on the other half of this. There we go. There we go. Oops. Okay. I don't want to jinx it, but we've been streaming now for an hour plus, and I have not dropped any frames. Our signal has not degraded. At least I haven't gotten any notifications for it. If you're experiencing it on your end, I'm sorry. But typically Saturdays are the days where the internet, where the internet does not agree with what we're trying to do. But today seems to be okay. So yeah, it's a rough outline. Now we're just gonna throw some trees in the middle. No need to get too... And I still do. I still go in and turn the trunks if I'm like really, really concerned, but I don't think it's gonna be... Oh, we got floaty trunks. I think the orientation of the trunks is fine. We don't... Like, if I'm gonna go in and adjust it, then I'll rotate them like I am now. But if I don't have to touch them, then I'm just going to leave them the way they are. Because your players might not notice. It's unlikely that they'll notice that all the trunks are facing the same way. I mean, like right here, I notice it because I just said it and I just did it. And now I have to turn them. But typically, you just put them down. Okay, that's pretty good. you'll notice that every tree in the grove appears to be the same tree. Yeah, exactly. Meaning this is an illusion. Hallucinatory terrain. Or not hallucinatory terrain. What's the big one? The big one that turns like a huge area into whatever you want it to look like. Hey, Sam, what's up? Welcome, welcome. We're streaming some TaleSpire as per usual. Well, mostly usual sometimes. There were some streams where we were like, we're gonna just play Zelda. Oh yeah, this is a new one. This is Mystery Mammal, one of the new songs I got today. Again, all up on Free Music Archive. And there are more than just this, because I had to search with the filter that there was open license for video, but there is way more that just for private listening. On your Nat 20 perception check, you have an out-of-body experience where you see a group of people sitting around a table referring to you and companions in third person, rolling dice and describing your actions. Oh, that's so meta. I love it. That would be great. I introduced a magic item in my home game. I'm currently running Rime of the Frost Maiden in my homebrew campaign setting. So it's a lot of there's things that are similar because it's an Icewind Dale, so I had to make an area called Icing Dale in my homebrew campaign, which is fine because it basically existed. I just didn't have a name for it. So I have a magic item that is it's called the Paragon, and it's basically an apple that's made of marble, legally distinct Icewind Dale. Yeah, it's an apple, and whoever holds it, it looks like it changes from looking like a carved apple out of marble, to look like the most perfect version of their favorite apple. So if you like Fuji apples and you hold it, it looks like a really good-looking Fuji apple. But it also it has charges. It has 3 charges. You can spend a charge to do Healing Word. You can spend 2 charges to do Gentle Repose, I think was one. Or you can spend all 3 charges to do Revivify. So I also built in the thing that this is sort of been created, a joint creation by the gods of fate. So when you die, or when you fail your final death save, you are greeted by the 3 gods of fate, and they ask the character, do they think their story should end here? That kind of thing. And I'm planning on having this, but it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, they basically have the out of body experience because they're dying or dead, and they are basically sitting at a campfire with these 3 gods of fate in this sort of empty expanse that you can see kind of storms roiling in the distance. But you can't hear them. It's just, you see the lightning, you see the clouds momentarily, but then the rest is just gray darkness just all around, aside from the campfire with these 3 other figures that are just kind of looking at you. And the gods are the Raven Queen, basically, or Matron of Ravens, as I call it in my setting, Timora, Goddess of Luck, and Birgi, who is from Magic the Gathering, which I was like, I like Birgi because she's like the goddess of storytelling and fire and adventurers for the most part, because what makes for better stories than adventuring, right? So they're the 3 gods of fate, or the 3 fates in my setting. So they confront you as you're dying, and they ask you, Birgi mostly, is your story done? And then you can talk to, the Matron of Ravens or Timora, depending on, do you want to end it here for your character, which you talk to the Matron of Ravens, or you talk to Timora and like, I need a little bit of luck here. I need to come back. And there's a chance that you can come back by talking to Timora without anyone casting Revivify. So it's like this whole RP thing that I have built into this magic item. But it hasn't happened yet. No one's been knocked down and lost all their all their death saving throws yet. So it looks like I'm gonna have to make some of my monsters mean and attack them while they're unconscious and make them fail those saves. Because I pull punches. I'm like, they're unconscious. They're gonna ignore you for now. There are other targets, but just get in that situation where there's just attacking. Yeah. I've been playing D&D IRL with new group. Ooh, nice. The whole thing is insert reference world for the a reference world for the day. Weave across 2 sessions. Faced Count Dooku, wizard with a red glowing sword. Got a job from him to take out his brother, the White Wizard. Nice. Who's the guy from Lord of the Rings? Oh, got it. Yeah. My fave moment: enlarge reduced a bridge sending 2 orcs from Warhammer into the lava pits. Nice. Have the next spell. Yeah. Have the next spell / arrow that hit a chicken. That's beside a blonde guy with a long pointed green cap. Yep. Nice. Let's see. Do we want to make this? I think we make this pool. Oh, too big. Oh, there we go. We'll make this pool a little bigger. There we go. And we can make this extra deep. Sure. And that. And the little ends. Make sure it's all. Nope, those are not lining up. Whoops. Nope. That's the wrong thing. Oh. Forgot. Need this to select the water. Aha. There we go. And there we go. Oop. This one's still. It's like Jello. like these little slices of Jello, which I don't like Jello. I don't like Jello as a rule. I never liked Jello. I don't know. And as a vegetarian, well, pescatarian, I like it even less. I mean, I'm not vegan. That would probably be more of a vegan thing. But, yeah, no. Not a fan. Not a fan of Jello. Yeah, no solid bone broth. No thanks. No thank you. I'm gonna pass. On that. I mean, I like gummies and I like marshmallows, so I'm not totally opposed to, bone things being made of animal bone. But yeah, Jello, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it goes beyond it's beyond the bone ingredient. It's just that extra, it's just wobbly. It's just too wobbly. Oh, turn it off. There we go. All right, couple lily pads. We'll do some more topography in here. That isn't water-based. Oop, that's not too far. Go. Couple more. I'll do one here. We'll do one coming up. And another one coming up. And third. I think that should be okay. Here, let me do. No, don't want to do that. This one. There we go. That's good. We could probably fill one of these with water. Let's do this one. Do this one over here. those floating above? Yes, they are. 100%. Move them down. There we go. Sweet. And we'll do one lily pad. Oop. Perfect. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Make sure it's on the surface. Cool, cool. Oop. All right. Oh, down. This one down. Making sure everything is working. Let me scooch this up. That one's fine where it is. Okay. Ferns. Ferns. Oh, new music. Aside from the new music that I added, here. New music, commercial music that I've been listening to. We got, I ordered, I already owned it on file, but Windows 96 released Empty Hiding World on vinyl. So I had to get that because I'm a huge fan of Windows 96. And it's just, I don't know. I love stuff. It started with 1000 Mornings. That is 100 Mornings. I'm sorry. I think it's 100 Mornings. Anyway, that was the album for me that was just like, yeah, this band. I love this band. And so anything he's released since, I've at least given a shot. And for the most part, I love them all. But that was the catalyst. But yeah, 100 Mornings by Windows 96. Heavily check it out. For YouTube, put up the album cover. Yeah. So if you watch this on YouTube, you'll see the album cover. But yeah, I love that artist. He does some great stuff. And anytime he releases something, I at least check it out. His latest one, How to See Through Walls. I think that was the name of it. It's either How to See Through Walls or How to Walk. I think it's How to See Through Walls. I have my... Yes, How to See Through Walls. Very good. Very good. The first track off that album, oh my god. It's like, it's a departure from his normal stuff because it's kind of poppy, but vaporwave, but also has an element of... he's from Brazil, so it's got that kind of Brazil flavor to it, too, which I love. And the first track on it, it starts with it, but then it subverts your expectations in a great way, and it's so awesome. And the rest of the album is it kind of does that off and on throughout the album, which is kind of cool. But Empty Hiding World was one that I kind of I got the MP3 and I was like, yeah, this is fine. But this kind of gives me, it doesn't really give me the chance to, but it actually behooves me to revisit it, Because, if I'm going to go to the extent of buying it on vinyl, essentially buying it again, I should listen to it. Listen to it a little bit more. Get all those little idiosyncrasies, become familiar with the album instead of just, yeah, I own it. Which, having access to Bandcamp is not great for one's bank account if you are an audiophile. I think that's pretty good. We'll put a few of the prickly bushes in here and there, but I think mostly I'll put one over there. Give that guy a friend. For this section, I think we're good with the underbrush. We also have to do up here and over here. So, those aren't really connected, are they? Hold on. Let me actually pull this back a little bit, because these two areas aren't connected. There. That feels a little bit more separate. Get rid of that too. Okay. And whoop. Put one more hereabouts. Flip. Down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now, step 1, cut a small hole. Step 2, using your oh, I guess I could extend that terrain thing here. Sort of. That sort of works. But I would have to, like, do this where I kind of hide the edge. Hide the edge a little bit. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. There you go. Wizard, I know how to look through walls. Ranger, me to you ain't special. Oh. Oh, me too. You ain't special. Got it. Alright, so there, but we're not going to put water in that one, because as it stands, there are no waterfalls in TaleSpire. So this is not going to have water in it, because we would have to have it spill over the edge here. I mean, I'm sure there's a way we could sink the water tiles into the face of this cliff and make it look like there's water going down the cliff, but I don't think it's going to look that great. So we'll just keep that the way it is. We'll move this one up, 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 and this one down, 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 and down. Up. Too far up. There we go. I think that's good for just this section within the copse of trees. Ooh, that okay. So that's extra down. That's fine. I think that's fine. Make sure my grid is at the right spot. Whoops. Select the right tile. There we go. Alright, and that should be level. Yes. Okay. So it's these other ones that I have to pull down because the tile below them is only half a step descended. Whoops. Gotta select the right tool. There we go. And beautiful. That distortion is really kind of messing with me on the water. Ooh. All right. Okay. So we have that. We're gonna throw a little lily pad right there and make it, you know, oops. Toggle that. There we go. Now we're good. Right there. Beautiful. All right. And that's going to be outside the trees a little bit, so that's fine. And just that, and then that extends there. So we have, after this, we've got, we did this little copse of trees, we did that copse of trees mostly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to do. Not counting these little tiny things that we've got to do still. So 4 more actual big copses of trees. Yeah, we did that one. There's going to be 1 H on tier 3. 1, 2. Where is Cave H? Cave H is over here? Oh man, I can't even find my caves now. Where are my caves of chaos? Oh, there it is. It's on the second tier? Oh, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. So it's hard to see through the grid. There it is. There it is. Aha. All right. So yeah, we have one that's kind of surrounding that. So that's going to be hidden by trees. On the tier it's on and above. So like this whole area. And then we have, or is this cave C? This could be cave C. There's cave H. Found it. All right. Or is this cave I? Oh my God, there are 3 caves on this level. Cave I is over here. Right. Okay. So this is cave H. Sweet. So many caves. So many caves. It's so chaotic. I get it now. I get it. So yeah, I'm planning on running a game in this. So, and in original AD&D. So I'm doing my research. I'm reading up on how to run AD&D because I have experience with, pardon me, 2nd edition. But that's as far back as my DM experience goes. I started running in 2nd edition in the 90s. And anytime I heard anything about 1st edition, I was like, "Pah, that antiquated animal. Want nothing to do with it." But now, I'm gonna, just as a novelty, try and run it. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too crazy difficult. Because a lot has become streamlined over the years, and a lot has been added over the years. There's features now that did not exist in the 80s D&D. Stranger Things D&D, as it were. The D&D that you see the kids in Stranger Things playing. That D&D. That one. Because I know that I read, I mean, I had to read this adventure to an extent to know what's in each room and all that. And it's, yeah, the D&D that's closer to Napoleon War games. Exactly. As we all learned. Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I was talking about music. So yeah, that I ordered that vinyl. I also got Cat System Corp just also released one of their albums on vinyl. Audi, you know, the car Audi. It's themed. A themed vinyl. I already had the MP3, you know, the file on Bandcamp, the album. But now it's on vinyl, and I am an audiophile and a vinyl head. Bunnequeep, welcome. Never got into Stranger Things. I'm not saying it's because a single fireball would make no difference in a Demogorgon fight, but it didn't help. That's true. Yeah. It's fun. That's a fun show. Alright, I think that's fine as far as height on the trunks. Let's go here. I'd say these are all going to be shorter. Yeah, so I think that height is fine. Maybe one that's taller? This guy who has access to all the water he wants. He's going to be taller. Whoops. Whoa. Oh, I got to sink his trunk in there. There we go. This guy too. I knew they wanted to be D&D players. If they wanted to be D&D players, they should have created cast to make water in the Demogorgon's stomach and see it blown apart from a steam explosion. Whoa. Okay, cool. I think that works for this level. Preliminarily. Yes, preliminarily. We'll scooch this up, and this up, and this up. Whoops. There we go. And we'll do the same here. Up, and up, and up. Okay. On this one, we'll go down here, and down there. Perfect. Down a little bit. Accommodate. And there we are. And for this one, we're just gonna kind of leave it for the most part, I think, but we'll put some outside the trees. Actually, make this big. That one and that one. There we go. Cool. Yeah. We're gonna do water over here. Probably we're gonna do water over here, but we don't have to. But we should probably. We can do a few puddles over here. Okay, there we go. That should. Oh, that's gonna. You know what? Whoops. Select. There we go. We'll just leave it like that. For these 3 deeper sections, those have water in them. Shallower sections do not. I've been having some Mega Man nostalgia recently, so seeing all those cut tree trunks just makes me want to put Metal Man. Yeah. Mega Man's fun. That was one of the few NES games I had growing up was Mega Man 3. I think it was 3. So I had that. I had all 3 Marios and Duck Hunt and Bionic Commando and Ninja Gaiden. I had Ninja Gaiden. I think that was it. I had like a handful that like one of my babysitter's boyfriends had, and they were like, "Here, you're gonna have these." And I think it was like a Bigfoot monster truck game. There was I had the Friday the 13th game that's unbeatable. I remember that. I had that freaking game. It barely worked too. It was like you put it in, it was like a 50-50 chance if it even worked. There was a Jaws game too, I think I had. And Super Pitfall. I loved Super Pitfall. I can't find it anywhere now. Like on a newer console, like a port. Super Pitfall was fun. I've got a Retron for playing classic NES and SNES games. Took it over to play with a few friends. Oh, nice. Excellent. That's great. Yeah, I have the subscription on Switch for the NES stuff, but it's like stuff that they feel like adding to it. Contra. Yeah, Contra's fun. Contra's a lot of fun. I remember like renting it and playing that, but I didn't own it. All right, so that section's fine. Let's add some water here. Mega Man 2 was my major rent game. Oh, yeah. There were a couple. What did I rent all the time? There was like not even Blockbuster, like back in the day. There's this like video rental place in the township right next to my town that we used to go to. Oh man, I don't even remember the name, but it was not like, it wasn't Blockbuster or Family Video or anything like that. It was just some rental place. Corner Video. Yeah, it was something like that, like a local thing. A few lily pads. One with a lotus on it, and make sure that it's not in the water. on the water. There we go. All right. Fine. Yeah, that works. If we do water here, we're going to have to do water all on there, and I don't want to do that. Also remember VHS of the Pizza Monster episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember that. I think it was kind of like Pizza the Hut, right? From Spaceballs. I think I remember that. Yeah, that was an era. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, oh man. Do a couple treetops here. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this literally yellow alien ripoffs. Oh yeah, I remember those. Their eggs were placed in microwave pizzas and hatched when heated. Yeah, absolutely. Those were in the new Ninja Turtles game on Switch. Yeah, which is great, by the way. Go. All right, and we'll do a couple big tops down here. The red ones look like peppers, and there's a yellow xenomorph looking one. Ah. The episode is on YouTube, but it's 1/4 of the video resized. Oh my god. Yeah. It's like some low-res rip of a VHS. What's to be expected? Like you could take off your glasses and still see the same quality. Sure. Ripped from SD at 400 by 200 DPI. 72 DPI, 400 by 200. It's literally a thumbnail. Also, back on the topic of music and new music that I've been listening to, I've been really getting into Death's Dynamic Shroud. They have a huge discography. It was daunting. I looked at it. I found out about them first of all because there was a remix of one of their songs in one of the albums I got. I was like, oh, this is a neat song, but it's a remix. What's the original? So I looked up the original. Oh, neat. What's the rest of this album? Oh, neat. This album's good. What's the rest of this band's music like? Oh, I like it. So it was one of those. So their discography is pretty extensive, so it's daunting. I kind of had to pick and choose what to listen to, what to get. So I'd sample it first to see if it's okay. There's not a lot of bands albums. I mean, I am in the situation where I found a genre that I sort of vaporwave that I sort of love, which hasn't happened in a long time. It hasn't happened since alternative or grunge, and in that, it was just one band, one or two bands. Oh yeah, I like these bands, and they're grunge, so I like grunge or alternative by extension. But with this, last for me was either Dr. P, Going Gorilla Flying Spaghetti Monster, and Tyler Clark. Oh, nice. I have not heard of that, but that sounds kind of neat. It sounds interesting. But yeah, with Vaporwave and with Death's Dynamic Shroud in particular, I think the clincher for me for that liking them or being a fan of theirs was their album Derelict Megatawa, and Megatawa is in kanji, so just Derelict Megatawa. The album is 84 tracks long. It is 84 tracks long, and I'm not talking short tracks. There's a mix. It averages, I think, around 3 minutes per track. 84 tracks, yes. You can get it on Bandcamp. I think it's actually free. You can listen to it for free on Bandcamp, and I think it's a Name Your Price album. 84 tracks for $1. I think the minimum is $1. I don't even think there's like a minimum. I think you can like just be like, download, thank you. But Derelict Megatower, put up the album art. Boom. That's for YouTube. It is 84 tracks, and it's just a deep dive into Vaporwave. I mean, it is. There's stuff in there. There's samples from things that I was just like, and the one thing that they sampled multiple times are clips from Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I was like, oh. These guys are fans too. Sweet. That's solidified my like, okay, these guys are cool. But it's like rotating members every album up to a certain point. Because there was one point where they're like, okay, we're gonna just focus on this style or something. But up to a certain point, every album from them was from one of the members of the group. Like, I think there were like 3 or 4 of them. And like every album there would be like one lead and like some of the other members would contribute. Megatawa, I think, is just a collaboration of all of them. Each of the 3 or 4 of them were like, all right, I have a bunch of tracks. Let's put them all on one album. But yeah, it's really cool. And then I've listened to I just have too much free time. I listened to like all the way through like at least 5 times at this point. 84 tracks. It's hours long. It's hours long. But that's another one that I'm just like, I can't imagine that being on vinyl. That'd be like what? 12 disc vinyl. Ugh. Something ridiculous like that. Could separate them all out and still have 3 to 4 standard albums, one for each person. Yeah. It's a big one. That's why it's the Derelict Megatower. And it's themed too. Like the tracks are themed and named in a themed way. Yes, it'd be a very like a big like thing with like a pages of discs. But I'm a fan of it. And their other one was, what is it called? SeaWorld something. I forget what it's called. It's in kanji. As with most Vaporwave like song names and album titles, half of it's in kanji. So you have to go run it through Google Translate. What track are we on? Pulls out tape measure. Exactly. But the other one I really like is SeaWorld, and I'll put the thing. You posted one of those a while back. Oh yeah, on the Discord. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I like their stuff. But the one I'm thinking of, SeaWorld, it has oddly, yes, that one. It has Katy Perry on the cover. On the album cover, it's just Katy Perry just taking a pose, and then just a bunch of weird stuff. Cool. They got away with it. But that album's great. And it's not 84 tracks long. I think it's like something like 20. It's 20 tracks. You know, upper average, but manageable. That one's really great. If you want a more accessible intro into Death's Dynamic Shroud, that's the one. SeaWorld. CWRLD. Yeah, they don't spell out the whole thing. So yeah, those are some of the beats I've been spinning. I got 2 new ones. They just dropped one actually this past weekend, and I went back and got one of their other ones, and I still have to dive into those because I did the thing where I listened to the first 2 tracks and I'm like, this is kind of different than what I'm used to from them. So I'm like, we'll come back to it. But yeah, they're great. I love their stuff. Oh, it's time for our second ad break. We're gonna go ahead and do that, and when we come back, more TaleSpire and talking about random stuff. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. If you do, go, but then come right back. See ya. Let me turn this down. 15-ish. That'll do. Cool. Welcome back. We're back streaming some TaleSpire, building the Caves of Chaos from the classic D&D module, a D&D module, B2. Oh, I'm sorry, this is just straight up D&D. No AD&D on this thing. It's D&D. Introductory module for characters levels 1 to 3 by Mr. Gary Gygax. All right, so we're putting on the finishing touches, which is a lot. I mean, there's a lot that we gotta do. It looks kind of barren, but we're slowly changing that with some topography, some trees, and some other foliage, some water features here and there. But I'd say we're about halfway done with that aspect. Maybe a little bit less, because we also have to do topography. If you look at it just trees, we're about halfway, but also adjusting the topography to be a little bit more detailed. That's going to be a little bit more too. Ooh, you can see inside. Inside all the caves. All right. Let's get back to doing the trees. Happy little trees. I now have a cat in my lap, so my posture is worse because I now have to lean forward over this little munchkin. Let's see. All right, let me adjust my mic so it's more in front of me. There we go. There we go. All right, more treetops. We're gonna finish up these tree trunks that we've been dropping. Oh, you know what I watched recently? That I didn't do it by accident because I ordered it. I ordered it on DVD because I saw it on Amazon. And I was like, oh, I remember that. It's been forever. It's pretty cheap. I'm gonna get it. Mission Hill, the show, the cartoon, was on Adult Swim for a hot minute, way back in the early 2000s. It was one of the last hand-drawn cartoons, cartoon series. It is the first cartoon series that features a homosexual kiss, which is pretty groundbreaking. And it's a funny show. Rewatching it, I mean, I at the time, while it was on Adult Swim, it was kind of filler. And I say that because at the time I was really into, Aqua Teen and all the other original programming that Adult Swim had. And maybe not so much the original program, but also like the anime, like Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that. I was like, all right, yeah, this is fine, but let's get to the good stuff. But you know what? Mission Hills is some of the good stuff. It was good. It was a good show, and it was only 2 seasons, I think. Fellow D&D enthusiast Brian Posehn does voice on that show. Just fellow nerd, Brian Posehn. I think it would be really cool to run a game of D&D for Brian Posehn, Patton Oswalt, and Jack Black. I think that would be pretty fun. My most recent music kick has just been Masayoshi Soken. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll also see if I can try and check out Dr. P and Tyler Clark. And the great thing about this is that I say that, and I'll probably forget, but, lead composer for, neat, cool. I got the Elden Ring soundtrack on vinyl because I saw it in my Steam thing. Of course on Steam because I got it through Steam. They're like, hey, this is on vinyl too. I'm like, you're talking to the 100% right person for this. Shut up and take my money. Which is pretty good. It's pretty good. So, and it's even like, the fancy colored vinyl, like splattered gray and black vinyl. It's really, really pretty. And it's just good. But yes, I say that I'll remember, I'll forget this, but when I go back and edit this, I'll remember because it'll be right there. And I'll be like, oh yeah. So I have a chance. I have 2 chances. But this editing my TaleSpire streams is much easier than editing like other gameplay, because unlike other games, even the downtimes of this is, I keep it in because it's, just part of the whole thing. It's part of, like, even just the chat when I just stop for a second and I'm talking for a bit, I just leave it in because it's part of the experience, That's what the stream is about. It's about building and then, just talking about stuff. For stuff like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, I go in and I edit those heavily because there are points where I'm just kind of meandering about doing nothing. And I'm like, you can probably take that out. And it's just like, it's a lot more involved. And I also have to I don't have to, but I also edit in sound effects and visual effects for, funny moments, or try to make funny moments, stuff like that. So my YouTube videos are far more streamlined than anything on my Twitch channel, which is just the stream. It's just the stream until Twitch takes it down, after a month or so, however long it keeps it up. But yeah, the most that I do on my edits of my TaleSpire streams is I'll put up the album artwork of an album I'm talking about, or put text as a correction for something that I say that's incorrect, with an asterisk, that kind of thing. It's like, no, idiot, you meant this, which has happened. I think this is my favorite. Oh, this is the Loyalist. Yeah, this is the one that I found, and I don't remember where I found it, but I know it's free use. This particular part of the caverns reminds me of a large swamp map I made a long time ago. Spent way too much time on tiny details like hanging vines behind trees. Yeah, between trees. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, building in here, you really kind of have to pick your battles with details like that. Because much like with the illustration, if say, for example, drawing a brick wall in comic illustration, I think that's perfect. You can either draw each individual brick, or just put groups of 3 and a little bit of some dots here and there for texture, and groups of 3, and the point comes across, that kind of thing. and you just give the illusion of it being a brick wall. That's not quite as, you know, doable in this. You do kind of have to put in some of the details. You can't just hint at some things. Well, I mean, you probably can, but it's not as simple as that. You kind of have to find the way, right? It's not as intuitive as illustration, as intuitive as it can be, as intuitive as illustration can be. Whoa, make this one a little bit lower. And kind of center it in my vision here. There we go. I'm also not great at TaleSpire, so I started with a giant block of floor tiles and created terrain by deleting out. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's an approach, and I'm sure you can do that. I don't know if that's... Well, I'm sure it's effective. I'm sure you could. Yeah, I mean, the way I always do it is I start with a floor, and then I just do the floor, just, you know, do the floor plan, just nice and flat, 2D, or as 2D as it can be, just like the one tile thickness. Just do every room connected, then I do the walls, and then I do everything on top of it. It's sort of like building from the inside out. It's not a great approach, gotcha. Need an add-on for TaleSpire so you can just put down the stump and have a mini menu to change the tree's height. Leaves, whatnot. Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, they just added, you know, community mods. So there's a bunch of new and going to be more mods that you can slap on into TaleSpire and you know, do your thing. There's a Roll20 integration. I don't know what that's going to entail. You can link your Roll20 account is what it looks like. And yeah, just all kinds of mods that are, you know, part of TaleSpire, not through third party. It's, you know, you make it, and then through the community, or you either make your own mod or find it on the Steam community for it. Well, if Minecraft modding for 1.7 works with TaleSpire, I'll try to make a tree. Nice. But yeah, I only found out about that today before streaming, because I had to run an update on TaleSpire before I started, and I was like, oh, what's this update? What? Mods? What? What is this? It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Because I mentioned this early, was it just me, or was it a surprisingly small download? For TaleSpire? Yeah. Because there were a couple before it, and I didn't realize it at first. I'm like, why is this taking so long? And I actually opened up Steam and looked at the queue, and there's like 2 other games ahead of it. I was like, oh. It was updating God of War too. I was like, oh, that's what's taking so long. And then it got to TaleSpire, and I was like, done. I wonder if they've been building the framework for this over time and adding to it in piece. Yeah, that sounds about right. I know a lot of their updates recently have been. I know they did the water stuff, and they did a couple other smaller updates with patches and new minis and things like that. But yeah, this is a big one. big in impact, not so much in file size. Because now, much like the way you could with Skyrim, as I mentioned earlier, you can just go to the Steam community for TaleSpire, find the mod you're looking, try and search for a mod you want, and just install it. Which is pretty cool. And I'm sure there's probably a mod for the hex grid that I Just Work Here was mentioning earlier, or asking about earlier. Just played through Skyrim again recently with all the new Saints and Seducers. Oh, the Saints and Seducers thing. Oh yeah. That one, man. All those new weapons and all those new conjuration spells. Ugh, that one was bonkers. One of my favorite YouTubers just hit 1 million and is fulfilling a 10-year-old promise to go back to the game when he hit 1 million. Oh man. Yeah, man, that game's what, like 13 years old now? 14? Because I remember when I was streaming it, it was like a 10 or 11 years old. And it's been a couple years since I've streamed any Skyrim. The era of every Skyrim stream having technical difficulties. I don't miss that at all. But that game is fun, man. That's an enduring game for as old as it is. I will say that what kind of ruined it for me was the proprietary mods that they did, because then those just kind of clashed with, or not the proprietary mods. What is it? Was it the special edition? Not the anniversary edition. I think it was the special edition where they did all the mods. The new Madness armor is sick. Oh, neat. That's cool. But yeah, when they added all the mods in the proprietary mods that clashed with the mods that you installed, then it really messed with, well, for me, it messed with my game a lot. I had to go in and trial and error, figure out, all right, if I turn this one off, does it work? No. If I turn this one off, does it work? No. That kind of thing, which was annoying and kind of turned me off to it a little bit. But it is a fun game. I mean, I have it on I had it on multiple platforms, because I had it on PS3, I had it on my PC. Actually, I partitioned my Mac to run Windows on half of it, just so I could play Skyrim. I don't have that Mac anymore, but that was way back. And I had Wineskin for a while on that Mac, so I could run it, which ended up not working so great in the long run. But yeah, there was just a new thing where people were making explicit mods using AI-generated voices, sampling and mimicking the actual voice cast. Absolutely terrible. Oh, nice. Oh man. Well, that's pretty cool. Now that they have like the AI voice sampling thing, which actually, speaking of which, my voice mod thing is, they just added a bunch of new AI voices, which is kind of creepy. But that is kind of cool, because like the previous mods and like adventure mods for Skyrim, anytime that there was exposition, it was in a letter. Like they'd hand you a letter and then you read the letter, because they couldn't get any voice things. And there were like incidental things, like with for example, for like Rasad with the Saints and Sinners thing. Like there would just be like some sound clips and some lines that they could use for Rasad, but nothing specific. So anytime you had to like give you exposition or tell you what to do, it was in a letter. Non-consensual use and stealing with AI, not cool. Yeah, no, it is not cool. But these AI voices are all, consensual. But here's an example.
We're gonna be playing this game. This called TaleSpire. I'm gonna be building a map in here. So let's get going.
It's still kind of rough, but it sounds like a different voice for sure. There's also one that does the random one, that every line you say is a different... Yeah, it's very loud, sorry. let me turn this down. Just in general.
There, that's a little better.
Now every line I say
is in a different voice. Very weird.
some of them are better than others.
Some of them are very robot-y.
Very AI.
And a lot of the inflections are lost.
What?
It's still kind of cool.
Just to be able to do this.
And it's great for D&D.
For NPCs. Not this one in particular, but
You know. Ones that are just one voice.
so weird.
This is so creepy, too. Yeah, sorry. The individual voices each have their own, in voice mod, each have their own volume level. So, sorry about that. But yeah, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. It's very, very cool. Let's see. Get some old trees. Some old trees. But yeah, Skyrim was fun. I think my first playthrough of it was... I played until I fought and defeated a legendary dragon, was sort of like the end cap on that one. And the second time I played it was just to see some of the new stuff. Not all of the new stuff, but some of the new stuff from that final iteration. It wasn't, I don't want to say it was the anniversary edition or special edition. One of those. It was one of those. The one with all the mods. And I think we got to a point where like, okay, that's good. There's just so much. Anniversary, yes. All right, cool. I think we've topped all of our trunks. Toranksu. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's outline the next area of triage. Triage? Should that be bigger? No, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so that's that guy, which is approximate. I guess we'll do... We did that one. I guess we're going to do this one. So let's outline what this is going to look like. Just going to copy and paste this tree here-ish. Probably out this way a little bit. And then just place down some trunks to outline. Did all the Saints and Seducers stuff and started some of the fishing side content. Ooh, got a ring with a new model to it. That's pretty neat. Nice. Might try a survival run on one of these days. Yeah, survival mode, that was one of the ones where the mod from Anniversary Edition and the mod that I had installed had really clashed. They really didn't like each other. And it took me like a week to figure out how to get it to work properly. But survival mode is fun. It can be annoying, but it's fun. It's fun. Or go back to Pure Merchant. Yes, Pure Merchant. Character with Imperial name Biocelius. Excellent. Oh, that's perfect. Alright, so we got a couple here. And stuff like that, and then down like that. And then it's up here. that is a top-notch name for sure for a merchant. Oh man. What did you? I know that there's also that NPC encounter of the merchant being attacked by reavers. Is it reavers? What are they called? The people in the Reach. Oh, the barbarians in the Reach. I forget their name. Anyway, those guys. And you have to save him from them. I wonder how that encounter. Forsworn, yes. I wonder how that encounter would have gone. Do you kill him and take his wares, or do you do you stay out of it? Too far. That's my problem. Whoops. Go here. There we go. And then this guy over there. Right? Correct. Cool. Correct-ish. Oh, my merchant is 0 combat. Let's stick to towns and carriage. Ah, for absolute required stuff and protection, I hire a guy and cower in the corner. Nice. Excellent. Very, very cool. There. All right. I think that's pretty good coverage. This actually goes up over here a little bit. Copy that. Right there. I'll put a couple over here. And then one up here. Because it actually spans 2 tiers. 3 tiers. You can get a surprising amount of mileage out of favor chores, then taking crafting materials from their house. Yes, houses to get started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, hey, you did me a favor. Feel free to take anything from my house. Oh. The big one is, what's her name? In Whiterun, the potion seller. Potion seller. Once you deliver that thing to the dude in the castle, the mage, she's like, you did me a favor. Feel free to take most things off the shelf for free. Not everything, but most. Biggest money maker, garlic, salt, juniper berries. Yep. Mine was always blue mountain flower, blue butterfly wing. That was the one that always skyrocketed and for me and broke the economy. Oh, the market is flooded with this useless potion. But it's so expensive. It does nothing. I think it makes your conjurations last longer, and then it also has a downside. I think those are the 2 things it does. Damage magic regeneration. Yes. Rotate these a little bit. Then we can do some topography. With this little area here. I'd say probably out here is going to be depressed a little bit. This thing, and that one as well. that one down. That one down. And sure, why not? Let's do these. And we'll make that one depressed a little. And do this one in the middle even more. There we go. And we just pull this all the way down there. Perfect. All right. Sorry. Ugh. That kind of works. Yeah. I don't know if we want to do much more over here. Let's just raise some of this terrain. The opportunity to make it a little, give it a little bit more detail. We'll do that. All right, and then that will bring up. Sure, sure. And then just a couple more little areas of that. I think that should work. All right, cool. Let's get some water in here. Everything's nice and level. Looks like it. Wait. Yeah, we're fine. Here. Oh, there we go. That's much better. those lines are throwing me off. Yeah, that works. Cool. All right, off. Oops. There we go. Perfect. Lily pad, little lily pad with lotus, and there we go. Fern time. This one's probably going to be a little hidden. This cave entrance, because there's already this stone here that kind of, if you look at it from, you know, this direction, it doesn't look like a cave opening. Actually, I do kind of have to fix that, don't I? Because there's a gap. Boop, 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 boop. Glad I kept this in my quick bar. Just such an occasion. Perfect. There we go. So yeah, once you come around now, you can see it. And this one, what is this one? I forget what this one is. Sorry, we're going on a trip now. What monster is in this cave? Stairs? Oh yeah. Stairs that go up to, whoa, whoa. There, okay. Zoom there, kind of. Looks like we gotta get out of build mode. Oh, it's bugbears. Yes, this is the bugbear cave. I have to replace these custom bugbears with the actual TaleSpire bugbears. Because they have, in the interim, added their own bugbear. Which is better, in my opinion. Mine's theirs is much better. You got some orc butt going on over here. Orc butt. Alright. Back in the build. Okay, single ferns. And there we go. Okay. There's good. Alright, and then prickly bush, just a couple here and there, and probably want to do a fallen log. Just one. And we'll actually make it so that we'll leave one of the tree trunks topless, so that it's more, whoops. It's like, where did this log come from? Well, it came from the tree with no top. That's where it came from. Whoops. Oh, interesting. Okie doke. Weird. Those little dots, those little circles on either end. That's new. I don't know what that's for. I'd like a leaning fallen log on one of these. Yeah. I don't know what these little dots are the circles on either end of this. That sort of implies that that's a handle. Attachment points. Maybe. Either handles for like a I mean, this is just wishful thinking in the vein of your previous comment, like ways to tilt it like that. Like with ladder segments, I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay, gotcha. Just waiting for that day that they add in the vertical tilting integrate that in there. That would be neat. But I'm sure there is just a nest of problems that comes along with that that they gotta work out. Probably so people can link them together for a log bridge. Ah, yeah, sure. All right, so there. Got a few minutes left, so let's do the topography up here. These vertical log segments have them too, it looks like. Oh yeah. Yes they did. Maybe they're going to integrate maybe not a grid lock thing, but a point lock thing. So points lock to other points. That'd be huge. That would eliminate this kind of thing where I have to kind of center it. I can just go, all right, put it over here, lock, and just hit go, and it'll just snap into place, perfectly centered with the thing below it, which would be amazing, but who knows? Is it possible to make an object into a creature, use the knockover feature, then turn them back into an object? Let's find out. All right, there's that. I think we can only do that to... Oh, wait. Nope, there we go. All right. And then you are prone. Wait, where is it? Knockdown. Boom. All right. And then... Nope. Nope, won't let me. That's all right. There's our log friend. It's the log lady's log. That's a deep cut. There we go. Her log has something to say. All right, let's do some topography up here. Back in the build mode. There we go. Oop. Oh. I should really do this part before I put the other segments on. That would have, yes. That would have been neat. Down there. And how about this one and this one? Down. Take this down. There we go. I'll raise a couple. That one, that, and then this one, and this one, this one a little bit. And I think that's good for up here. as far as topography goes. We don't really need to put water in that. In fact, I'm going to leave that one without water. We'll just put a couple, whoops. Yes, that's what I'm trying to grab. A couple of these scattered about. And a couple single ferns. Over here, over here. Cool. All right. Now for the treetops. Two big ones over here. There we go. So one thing about building with the treetops is that this big one blocks your view from the trunk you're trying to line it up with. Kind of have to rotate and move your camera to kind of accommodate. Let's put a couple more double ones here and there. So yeah, when I got logged onto Twitch today, there are apparently a bunch of new things you can do as far as your stream description. There are now like selection boxes where you can say, "Oh, my stream uses a lot of vulgarity," like a lot, that kind of thing, or there's explicit drug use or stuff like that. So that's weird. That's kind of odd to me. I don't know how that's, I don't know. Because I get it. It's the internet. And I mean, the FCC is involved to an extent, or is it a whole different bureau? I don't know. I'm not 100% on how that works. But I know that there is standards and practices kind of thing going on, especially for legit services with an asterisk, like Twitch. But I don't know, that kind of blows my mind that you can just like click that, like, oh, I'm gonna have nudity, and click the thing and then start streaming nudity. I don't know, that seems odd. But hey, you know what? If that's what you want to stream, more power to you. Get those views. Get those viewers. Jeez. Another tree. And another tree. I keep forgetting that I have my soundboard, and I can now listen to it as I do it. I tried fixing that today. I tried going in and readjusting my oh, let me go ahead and mute that one. That one shouldn't be. I tried going in and fixing my audio thing, because I was going through virtual cable for my mic, and my desktop was, everything else, my soundboard, this, but I couldn't hear it. So now I have everything going through my desktop, and I can hear it. So that means my soundboard, I can hear it now, instead of just pressing the button and hoping for the best. All right. Let's see. I did not want to put that there. But the problem with that is that some of this is copyright, which I find out the hard way. from Twitch. It's like, oh, well, I mean, like the one thing that they did not really strike me for, because it wasn't a copyright strike. It was like, this one might have muted audio, or no, there was like, this one is licensed, but we don't have to mute your audio. And it was, and I'm gonna do it again. And I'm sorry, Twitch, but this is just to get, you know, as an example. But I made that button. I made that button for the explicit purpose of highlighting when we have fun. I don't use it often. But yeah, I keep forgetting that I have this resource at my literally at my fingertips. Like all these things, it just doesn't come up often. And I don't, you know, spamming that, it's annoying, right? Just spamming your soundboard is just annoying. So it's for special occasions. But at least now I can hear it. I guess that's the upside of my audio settings being all weird now for no reason. And I think it's just virtual cable decided to crap out. That's my guess. Because Streamlabs is still looking for that source, but it doesn't exist. I guess the thing just doesn't exist. I guess the last update was to remove itself from my computer. This song is very chill. Oh. And now there's the song again. The good thing about these songs is they just kind of fade into the background. Get rid of that segment. There we go. There. Do a big one right here. So yeah, we took a trip last weekend for the holiday. We drove to the middle of nowhere, Ohio, and stayed at a cabin for a few days with some family, which was nice. And on the way back, I had to drop off my nephew back in near the Northeast Ohio before driving back to Chicago. And we did that. We weren't going to do the whole drive. We basically drove from the cabin to Northeast Ohio, and then from Northeast Ohio, we didn't go directly back to Chicago. We stopped in Toledo and got a hotel, and we just got whatever cheap hotel. We were like, whatever, something inexpensive. I won't be doing that again. Not that it was like we felt unsafe or anything like that. It was just not the cleanest. You know, it was just like it wasn't like we need to go, but it was like we need to make this short. We didn't sleep in. Let's say that. We were like, oh, I'm awake. Let's just go. Ugh. I mean, it wasn't it was by no means the dirtiest motel or hotel I've been in, but it was in the running. I mean, yeah. Oof. All right, we've made some pretty good progress today. Put down a lot of trees, did some topography stuff. We're gonna have to go in and like do these in between areas with adjusting the height and depth of some of the terrain, and a few more things of trees. We got like 1, 2, 3. That's it. Just 3 more, and they're all back in this area. So it's just those areas of trees and adjusting some of the terrain, and then this bad boy's ready to roll. And this is gonna go up on Tales Tavern, and you guys can play with it, adjust it, do whatever you want with it. It won't have any of the custom minis, but it will have the minis that are native to TaleSpire. So yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I just work here. Thank you for stopping by, first timer. Bundle Queep and Sam, thank you so much for stopping by. We will be back next week, pretty sure. I don't think anything's. Hey, Heavenstat, welcome. Thank you for lurking or hanging out. We will be back next week with some more TaleSpire. We're gonna hopefully finish this, or at least get closer. There's nothing up on this 3rd tier as far as trees, right? Oh wow! Like yeah, this whole tier on the you can't see it. Yeah, there we go. This whole tier here on the right, that's empty. Wow, that's fine. We'll just do some topography stuff and maybe some small plants, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks. We'll be back next week, as I mentioned, more TaleSpire. I will make sure to try and check out the music suggested to me. Hopefully you do the same. And until next time, see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and also hit the bell if you want to know when I post some new stuff. You can see some of my other stuff right over there on the screen.